Hey, booze. Oh my goodness. Today, we're going to be talking about layers. It's layers to this. Okay, I normally say it's levels to this, but it's layers to this today. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited you're here. My name is Michelle with LBC Branding. I help you stand out so that you can make your mark in the world. The way I do that is with my MARK method, which stands for Mindset, Authenticity, Revenue, and Knowledge. I do that via classes and courses and social learning, just like this. So what are you waiting for? It's time for you to make your mark. Okay, so look, I'm so excited about today. So as you may already know, I am your Canva champion. Yes, honey, yes. And today we're going to be talking about the layers tool in Canva. It is so cool. So back in my day, when we first started doing all these things, when we created a design, you'd have to send it backwards or bring it forwards, and then you didn't know where it was in the whole grand scheme of things. So Canva made it nice for us, and I'm so excited because we get to talk about this right here, hunties. Yes. Layers. What is the layers tool? I know you're probably asking, what is it? The layers tool allows us to be able to arrange the elements that we have in a design by stacking them in the order that we want. We can move elements up or down in a layer stack, however we want to position them, and it's so incredibly cool. So today we're going to be talking about 5 tools that you could use using the layer tool. Tip number 1, you can organize your design elements. Organizing your design elements by grouping them in separate layers. So you can group things the way you want them. This makes editing and moving them so much easier. Let me holler at you for a second. Think about it like this. Think about a sandwich. You're building a sandwich. Your design is a sandwich. So you start with the bun. Then you put your meat, sorry, vegans. Then you put your pickles. Then you put your tomatoes. Then you put your lettuce. Then you put your other bun. But what if you didn't want your tomatoes on the pickles? What if you wanted your tomatoes next to the bun on the top? So you just move the tomato to the top, right? That's what we're doing with the layers tool. So let's go to the computer so I can show you exactly what we're talking about. If you look on the side over here, you can see all of these elements. Now, I know you're probably wondering, hey, how'd you get to that? In any design that you're working on, you'll notice this toolbar right up top, right up here. So if you notice next to this lock, there's this thing that says position. If I click on position, this comes up. Here, I can arrange whatever layer I'm using, right? So I could click on an element and then it will tell me, hey, you can arrange it. You could put it in the middle, align it wherever you want. You can be very specific about the size of said layer, or you can move it up and down. And this is where we're going to focus today. So if I click on layers, now I know that, see, here I am right on top, right? I am above the shadow that's behind me. Now, if I wanted to move this shadow, there are a couple of ways that I could do it. I could click on here and click on the ellipsis right here. And here it says layer, bring forward. I could do it that way. But why? When it's so easy to just do this. I can drag and drop it. That look horrible. I don't want to do that. So let's put it back. Okay. So remember, you can hit the ellipsis. You can go to layer and then you can say, send it back. Send it backwards. And now look, it just dropped behind me the way I had it. Make sense? I know, right? Oh my God. Tip number 2, we can use the lock feature. The lock feature prevent you from accidentally moving something or editing a layer that you didn't want to move because you lock it down. This is so cool. Let me show you how to do that. So we're going to go to this design right here. See this background here? This background is locked. So how'd I do that? So remember right up at the top of your editor, there is this lock right here. And the way I locked it, all I did was just click it. So if I clicked it, I just unlocked it. If I want to lock it, I just click it like that and it locks it in place. Sometimes, like let's say for instance, this layer, this is a shadow layer that's like right here right here, and it goes from black and it kind of like gradients into whatever color. It's like a little shadow layer. If I wanted to lock that, I can click this here. If you notice, this lock with the pencil comes up and it's like, you sure you want to lock this? I'm like, yeah, lock it. And then I can click that again. And then now I know it is locked. It is not going anywhere. Also, you can notice here, it says lock. If I wanted to move something around or whatever, I can move this element without moving this element because now this is locked in place. The background naturally is locked in place. However, sometimes I play with things, and if I don't want it to move, I lock it in place. Very, very important. So now let's get to the next tip. I love this one. This next tip is adjusting the opacity of a layer. So you can take advantage of the ability to adjust the opacity of a layer. I love this. And this is a great way to like blend effects. Okay. See this picture? This was the episode that we did this past Sunday. So if you want to check out this episode, just go to this thumbnail on my channel. Here's what I wanted to show you. You see my face here? There's something on my face. Now I'm clicked on that element over here and you really can't see what it is. You know why? Because I changed the opacity, right? So now let's go ahead and go up to this little thing right here. See, this says transparency and I have this at 7. Now watch what happens when I bring it to 100%. Yes, honey. Yes, right. Oh my God. You see what I did there? You see what I did there? All I did was change the opacity back to the way it was. So this is a layer that is on top of my face. But in order to be able to show my face through said layer to blend that effect, all I did was change the opacity, and you can see you see what's happening here. You see what's happening? You see what's happening? So now I have the opacity set to 12 and you could barely see, you can see a little bit of the little robot below it. But if I wanted to like completely make it go away, I could, change it back to where I had it, which is where I had it at 7. I love this piece. You know what this is good for? This is good for doing shadows and, blending two images together. And you could blend shadows together. You could blend different images together to create awesome design. I'm so geeked about this. And here's the next tip, being able to change the order of the layers. Duh, right? Really important. Kind of like what we talked about in the very beginning about moving the pieces of the hamburger. So you could change the order and work with them. And also, this is especially great if you have overlapping elements. Here's another picture of me, but let me show you what I did in this situation. If you notice, so we just talked about changing the opacity of things or whatever. I have 2 layers of me here, right? I have this layer of me that's a totally different shade that's creating the shadow that is also, the opacity is changed to create that blended edge around me. And then I have me on top, right? But we're talking about rearranging the layers. Well, what would happen if I put this on top? Now you can see what I did there. You see what I did there, right? So this layer, this was my shadow layer that I created down below, right? And I wanted this to be right under me. So that's a way that you just drag and drop it, okay? You can drag and drop this stuff all over the place so you can create and arrange things the way you want. I love this about using this. And look at this overlap piece right here. So if you notice, you see where it says arrange and where it says layer, right? These are all the layers over here. So you can see all the layers. But if you specifically wanted to see the ones that are overlapping, you can click here and it'll show you all of the overlapping layers. So you'll know where everything is. And so if you needed to move something, you could. This next step, this one, I absolutely love, and it is the group feature. Yes. Okay. So don't forget, you can use this. This is so cool, especially if you want to like group things together. So, and then move them as one. right? You group them together, move them as one thing so that you're not like, oh my gosh, I need this, I need this, I need that. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. You can move it as a single layer. So remember, you go to position, right? And so it'll show you the layers. And over here, you can see all the layers, all right? All the layers. So this design that I did here where it says no design skills, oh my goodness, y'all, stick around. We're going to be talking about this on Sunday. I know. So for those of you watching this on the replay, look for this thumbnail. We're going to be talking about this and how you could do all of these things with no design skills in Canva. Anyways, back to this. So if you notice this element, it's not one element. It's this and the words and this, right? And then I think I have a shadow behind it. There's a shadow behind it. All of those things are in this right here. So now what I want to do is kind of group all of those things. I just want to group these things right here. But I've got so many things overlapping. I've got like me overlapping here. And so that's me right there. And that's kind of overlapping that. And so what I want to do is group this together. So I want to group this. So what I'm doing here is holding down the shift key. If I hold the shift key down and just click on the layers that I want to group, I can group all of those layers. And so as you notice, I am grouping those layers as we speak. And I kind of like that together. And now once I take my finger off of it, you see this shows up right here. It says group. So I can group that. And now that layer is one. So if I wanted to move it, I could move it as one. Now, before I couldn't do that because remember, it was all split up. Right? It was all split up. And so in order for me to be able to move all of that, I can group it as one. I do have a bonus for you. What if you knew what the keyboard shortcuts were to do all of these things where you didn't have to go back and click and click and click? If you just knew the keyboard shortcuts, you could jump right into what it is. If you are on a Mac, these are your keyboard shortcuts. Okay. So on a Mac, your keyboard shortcut is Option 1. So if you click Option 1, it'll take you right to the layers panel. But if you're on a Windows device, you click Alt 1. And that is how you would get to that. So that's your bonus tip. I'm so excited and so thrilled about this. I want to tell you a little something about how you can get Canva Pro for free $99. So look. Canva Pro is amazing. Now, you didn't need Canva Pro to do the little things that I showed you today. However, with Canva Pro, you get access to so much more. You get access to millions of premium designs, graphics, templates, all kinds of stuff. The ability to upload your custom fonts and have like certain brand assets, and the ability to resize stuff with the click of a button, and the ability to create and organize folders for easy design management. All kinds of stuff. The link is on your screen as we speak. Go to lbcbranding.link/Canva so you can try Canva Pro for 30 days for free $99. You will thank me for it. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Layers. Tell me how you're using layers. Have you even tried using layers yet? Let me know in the comments below because I would love to know. I absolutely love it. Ever since they came out with this integration, I was like, oh my God, right? It's so cool because now I don't have to guess where my stuff is at. I know exactly where it is. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are picking up what I'm putting down, okay, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Yes, I do this all the time. So thank you so much for joining me today. We will see you on the next video. Deuces.